decided to go to the Walt Disney World Resort for your vacation, you've picked it over 8 other Disney parks around the world and Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and other destinations. Great job. One decision done. And now you're on to step 3 of 13 when planning your Disney vacation. That is amazing, pal. We're going to talk about when is the best time to go to Walt Disney World and how do you decide for your individual group or family? That's what we're going to talk about today. Be sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on tips, tricks, and resources to plan your vacation. And off we go. We're going to talk about one of the trickiest topics when planning your Disney vacation. Now, there's never a bad time to go to Disney World, but after living in Mickey's backyard for about 10 years now and working at Disney World, taking my family about 200 times to the parks, I will say there are definitely some times that I prefer to go, as well as many of the other people that I help plan their vacations. So, are you going to want to avoid crowds? Do you want to have good weather? Do you want to go when the water parks are available or special events? Do you want to go during seasonal events or festivals? Do you want to go when your kids are off school or if you have vacation? Those are some big factors. Do you want to focus on when the price is the lowest? Do you want to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Party or Very Merry Party? There are so many different factors to consider. Some of them are pretty universally accepted as the preference, whereas some of them might be your personal preference, and we can talk about those on our call together. But today we are going to talk about on this video what are some of the most popular reasons for choosing a time to go to Disney World. Now, the first one we are not going to spend a lot of time on because there's not a lot of things you can do about it, and that is when are you available? When are your kids available? School days, are you going to have vacation days, time off, etc.? Those are some things that you are going to have to consider, of course, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on that topic, but just think about this. That means a lot of the rest of the country is going to be available on those days as well. So we'll talk more about crowds later. Number 2, we're going to talk about the weather. Now, you might not agree with this. Let me know down in the comments if you think something different. But most people, when they think of Florida, think of sunshiny weather. It is the Sunshine State after all. But while we do get a lot of sunshine, our weather is not sunshine and rainbows all the time. Let's talk about our heat, our rain, and our hurricanes. Now, if weather is a big factor for you, there are those 3 things to consider. Now, we're first going to talk about the heat. Now, it is extremely hot here in Florida in the sense of humidity is just kind of sits on you in the summertime and in the early fall. So you will want to consider that when planning your vacation. Not to say that you can't have fun. We went to the parks yesterday and it was awesome, but we came prepared. So we knew that going in and we had strategy in order to avoid getting overheated and exhausted. So that is something to consider. If you want to avoid the heat, then coming in your winter months, specifically if you come in January and February, those are going to be your coolest months of the year here in Florida, at least from my experience. So I would consider those months. If you want to avoid the rain, then you will also want to consider the winter months. Specifically, if you come during the summer, maybe May through November time, you are looking to have a thunderstorm almost every afternoon like clockwork, sometimes even more throughout the day, scattered thunderstorms. Now, again, that's not to say that you're not going to be able to enjoy the parks and have a lot of fun, but it could change how you schedule your day and what your day looks like here at Disney World. So that's another thing to consider. That is a big summertime given. Now, the third thing you want to consider when you're thinking about the weather is you want to think about the hurricanes. Now, hurricane season is from, I believe, June until November, but typically you're most likely to have a hurricane, at least, again, from my experience here in Florida for the past 10 years, you are going to have it in like August to October. That's when we've had the most hurricanes that have affected our trips to Disney World. And so that's something to just consider when planning your vacation. Now, if you do want that really hot Florida experience, then you can come anytime during the year from, I'd say, April all the way to November. You're gonna have pretty warm months. You might have a little crisp in the air, especially in the morning when you come December through February, even a little bit into March, you might have those cooler mornings and the warmer afternoons. Number 3, special offerings. Do you want to experience the holidays here at Disney? Do you want to come and see more flowers than you can possibly imagine, or go to a Halloween party? There are even Broadway concerts that come here. So there are so many things to consider when planning this vacation. This is more of a preference. So if you would like to come for your holidays, that's going to be like your Christmas and other festivals. You're going to come from the end of Halloween all the way to the end of December. You're going to have those holidays, but as you get closer to Christmas time is when you're going to have all of the offerings available. So you will not be able to come the first week of November and be able to experience everything that the parks have to offer with the holidays, but you will if you come after Thanksgiving. Now, if you would like to experience your Halloween season and you want to see fall at Disney World and go to a Halloween party in particular, you can come at the end of August all the way to Halloween, and that's available all throughout. Just know that it's not going to feel like fall. It's going to feel a little warm, so come prepared for that. And then you can think about your Broadway concerts or all of your arts and festivals. That's going to be at the beginning of the year in January to February, and then you can see all of the flowers from Flower and Garden Festival if you come at the end of February, early March, all the way to June. The fourth thing we're going to talk about is crowds. Now, I will say over the last several years, there have not been a lot of lulls in crowds throughout the year. The crowd level has not decreased enough for it to make a difference of when you plan your vacation. At least from my experience, these last almost 10 years now, I've noticed that gradually becoming the case. And so going to plan your vacation, maybe don't even look into crowds. However, there are 2, maybe 3 months that you can consider would be your low crowd months, less busy months. And so I'll let you know those in just a second. But another thing to consider is there are a couple of weeks throughout the year that are definitely much more busy than the rest of the year. Now, that is not to say that you can't enjoy them and go and have a great time, because people definitely do. And as long as you have the right strategy in place, it will be worth it. However, and it's just a great experience, honestly. But those weeks are from Christmas to New Year's and during your spring break week. Those are kind of your busiest times of year, and you definitely need to have a strategy in place and really want to go those times of year to go. Now, your least busy months are going to be February, September, and maybe some of January. Just avoid those beginning festival dates in February. Oh, excuse me. Yes, February for your Flower and Garden, and January is the beginning days of the Festival of the Arts. Those might be a little bit busier weekends, but other than that, those are going to be your best times to go, because most people are going to be jumping back into school, and if you have the flexibility to go then, that's when I would go, if crowds are the most important thing to you when planning your vacation. Now, if I was planning a Disney vacation, I have a few different times of year that would be the optimal times of year to go based on my preferences and my experience, and so I'm going to let you know them now. Each of these times would be for specific reasons. So I would go almost every week in February. I went this past year, I went almost every single day in February. I would go during the first week of December. That's going to be your lowest crowds to be able to enjoy the most of the Christmas experience and what that has to offer. I would go during September to enjoy fall and Halloween, and then I would go towards the end of April or May, at the beginning of May, in order to enjoy some lower crowds and still have that great weather to enjoy the Flower and Garden Festival. And those are the times of year that I would choose to go if it was me. That's when I tend to go the most with my family. However, I have been almost every week this year so far, and sometimes multiple times a week, and each one has been fun and exciting in a different way. So let me know in the comments what you think would be the best fit. If you think that the times of year I chose are wrong, or if you have different experience, let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. Are you planning on going on a Disney vacation? When do you plan to go? I'd love to know that down in the comments below. And if you would like me to help you plan your vacation to help it fit your needs best, so I can personalize it so that you can stress less and focus on the memories, and you can use all my expertise at no cost to you, be sure to hop on a call down in the description box below. If you don't see a time that works for you, be sure to request it. And you can also fill out a guest interest form down down in the description where we can chat about what is going to fit you and your family vacation needs. So I would be honored to help you out. And if this video has been helpful to you, be sure to sprinkle some pixie dust on that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on a video. I cannot wait to see you in our next planning video. You can check out the playlist or this next video that YouTube thinks is the good fit for you. I will see you there.